Hello, welcome to this virtual lesson called Shape Your Future, Rotherham. If you're watching this, I imagine you're from a Rotherham school that's asked you to take part in this session. I hope you enjoy it, I hope you find it useful, and let's get started. My name's Caroline. I work for an organisation called HEPSI as a Higher Education Progression Advisor. I'm going to be leading this session with you today. If you've not heard about HEPSI before, we're a partnership between the universities locally to help your schools and colleges and the pupils within them find out more about their future options, including higher education. We've also partnered in creating this lesson with our sister organisation HEP and with Rotherham Metropolitan Borough Council as well. So thank you for their involvement also. Today, we're going to focus on 3 certain learning aims. We're going to help you understand and use different sources of labour market information. That means information about local jobs, local employers, and local education opportunities. We're going to learn some key facts about employment opportunities and working lives in Rotherham, and we're going to do that through a quiz. And we're going to reflect on how employment opportunities have changed and will continue to change in the future. We've also got a part 2 to this lesson, so you can choose to do that straight after or on a later date. And that includes some employer videos and chance to do individual research into areas that really interest you as well. As part of this lesson, we're going to be using the Shape Your Future booklet. This was produced recently by HEP and Careers Yorkshire and Humber, and it gives an overview of work opportunities within South Yorkshire, including a focus on how jobs have been changing and will change in the future, and spotlights on certain sectors that are growing and developing in our region. You can see a link for how to access this booklet in the notes, or you might have received a hard copy previously in school. Really recommend having a look through all of the booklet, so that might be something you'd like to do after the lesson as well. A few thinking points to start off with. Of course, if we did this in class, we'd get you all to discuss this, but just to think individually for now. How long have you lived in Rotherham? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And I'd like you to grab a pen and write down 5 words that describe your view of this town. The reason that we're looking specifically at your area in this careers lesson is that where you live, where you grow up, the businesses that you interact with in your daily lives can affect your employment opportunities for the future. And the more you understand about what's happening locally, the more you can navigate your way through it. It doesn't mean that you have to stay in Rotherham to work, but it's just one of the options available to you. Next, I've got a quiz for you. It's a quiz about opportunities and employers within Rotherham. How well do you know your town? So what I'd like you to do is, using a phone, a tablet or a computer, visit kahoot.it that you can see here and enter one of these pins to access the game. So there's a number limit on how many people can play. So if the first one doesn't work, just try the second pin. You can pop your name in there. You don't have to use your real name, but do follow that on with your school after that, as you can see from this example, just so we can see which schools have been taking part. So pause the video here, access this quiz, and I hope you enjoy it and I hope you learn something from it about your town. How did you get on in the quiz? Did anything surprise you? Hopefully it showed the breadth of opportunities locally that you could take advantage of in the future. I'm going to run through some of the key facts that have come out of the quiz, just to give an overview of the information that we've learned. So firstly, we looked at what are the largest areas of work in your town. We saw that number one was wholesale and retail trade. So that could even include things like selling car parts, for example, or retail shopping centres like Parkgate that you can see here. Secondly, we've got manufacturing, and particularly advanced manufacturing. And we know there's a strong history in your town of producing all kind of products through manufacturing and engineering. Thirdly, we've got health and social care. So this could cover anything from roles within the hospitals to roles in social work to working as a care worker in people's homes, for example. And fourthly, we've got education. We also see that since 2015, Rotherham has grown faster than some other areas in terms of employment growth, and that in a 2018 report, it was named as one of the fastest growing economies in our region. So that means that there's more jobs being created and more income coming into the area. So some positives that we see locally. Of course, in recent months, we've had the impact of COVID-19, so that is affecting the economy, and that's an ongoing effect. But we still see some strong businesses and opportunities from before that time, and some of that will have a lasting impact also. For wages, we saw that the average earn per week in Rotherham was £493. That's just over £12 an hour, so well above the minimum wage and the national living wage. It does differ in different region, as you'd expect. So it is slightly higher in Sheffield, which you'd have the option to travel to for work, and quite a bit higher than that in London. But one advantage of living locally is the reduced amount that travel and accommodation might cost compared to southern areas of the country. Interestingly, we saw that 43% of people who live in your town actually work outside of Rotherham itself. So you've got that opportunity to travel to neighbouring regions if you choose, with good transport links, such as the new development of the tram train or through buses or car. So opportunities wider than Rotherham if you choose to travel to those. Alongside existing employers in Rotherham, we've got some new developments and employment opportunities as well. So this summer there was opened Gulliver's Valley theme park at Rother Valley. So opportunity for families and children and young people to come along and have a great time there, and job opportunities as well. So some of those will be part-time, some of those would be full-time, but opportunities perhaps for the future alongside college or sixth form or in a full-time role in the future. Middle picture, we've got Forge Island, which is a new development coming soon for the city centre, which would include restaurants and a cinema and shops. So lots of opportunities there, both on the construction side, but also working within each of those establishments. The final picture, we've got an example of the heritage offer of Rotherham. So we've got Wentworth Woodhouse that is now open for tours and events and activities. A pause for lockdown, but open again when it is able. That's aiming to attract a lot of visitors and create jobs in the future also. You've also got some exciting education opportunities locally that can help you progress into areas of work that you're interested in. So alongside local universities like Leeds, Sheffield University and Hallam University, you now have a university centre within your own town, the University Centre Rotherham, that opened in 2018, offering a broad spread of different courses from level 4 upwards. You've also got the Advanced Manufacturing Research Centre that offers a whole spread of apprenticeships. That could be an opportunity if you're interested in that particular area, and even centres like the Rotherham Football Club does offer a higher education option, which might surprise you. Following on from when you finish school at 16, you've also got lots of opportunities for further education, including local colleges, sixth forms and apprenticeships. So finishing this first part of the lesson, I've got a task for you. So again, I'd like you to pause the video and read page 5 of the Shape Your Future booklet. This is talking about changes in the jobs market. What changes have there been? How might this affect different job opportunities, and what skills might be important because of this? Have a good read of that, think about what you've learnt and answer the questions below. What changes have you seen in Rotherham in the past few years? What new jobs have been created, and which jobs do you think might have reduced in number? Make a few notes on these areas and you might choose to share them with your classmates via your virtual learning space. Throughout this video, we've talked about work opportunities within Rotherham. By this, we're certainly not saying that you must stay in Rotherham to work. There's lots of opportunities in the local region that are commutable from Rotherham, but also much further afield in other towns, other cities, or even other countries that could be a great opportunity for you for the future. As we saw from the quiz in the first session, 43% of people who live in Rotherham work outside the area. Have a think for a moment. Does anyone in your family or people that you know travel outside of Rotherham to go to work? Where do they travel to? Perhaps Sheffield, perhaps Doncaster, perhaps further afield. Why do you think some people do move away from Rotherham for work? Might be something to think about and an option for the future. You may move away for work or for education, but you may return in the future, and it's great to know about the opportunities locally as well. We've come to the end of part 1 of this lesson. So in summary, you have the opportunity to shape your future and develop your career based on the skills and interests that you have. Using labour market information about Rotherham and your local area can help you make good decisions about which path to follow and know more about future job opportunities. And we've seen that there's lots of different employers and work opportunities in Rotherham across many different sectors and different types of work. Some suggested actions from today. Why not discuss what you've learned with your classmates and teachers? That can help to firm up that learning that you've made, and you might find out something different that they've learned that you'd not even realised. Secondly, move on to part 2 of the lesson to help you learn more detail about different sectors of work you might be interested in. And we've also got some input via video from local employers that should be really interesting and enjoyable for you. Well done for all the things that you've learned today. Well done for taking part in the quiz and the activities, and hope it's been useful and enjoyable for you. If you've got any questions from today, just head to our website hepsi.org, and we've got a chat section on there. We can pose the questions to us. We've also got a helpline as well. If there's anything more you're wanting to know.